I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful Death Star Christmas tree bauble. Let's get started by looking at what you'll need to make this at home. Here's what you'll need: a Death Star ice cube mould, plaster of Paris, water, acrylic paint, a paintbrush, a needle and some string. The first thing you'll need to do is prepare the mould. There is already a hole on the opposite side of this mould, but unless you want your Death Star to hang upside down, you'll need to make another hole to thread the string through. If you don't mind the laser pointing at your feet, you can skip this step. I'm using a cotton string because I like the red and white stripes, and a darning needle because my string is thick and it's got a fat eye. Don't forget to tie a knot at the end of the string. Push the needle through the small hole you've made and wiggle it about until you can pull it through. You don't need to pull it all the way up to the knot, you can leave a centimetre or so hanging. Then insert the needle back into the same hole and pull through enough string to make a hanging loop. Tie another knot at the end, and don't worry about making neat knots. In fact, the messier the better. The plaster of Paris is going to soak up into the knots and help the bauble stay attached to the loop. You won't see any knots at all. I'm also going to have to cover up that other hole with a little bit of tape. I'll still need to hold it in place with my thumb when I've added the plaster mix, but it's going to save a lot of very messy splashes. And that's the mould prepared. So let's mix up the plaster of Paris. I'm using 3 tablespoons of plaster of Paris powder and 2 and a bit tablespoons of water. You can use less water if you want a thicker mixture, but it will set faster. I'm reusing a rinsed out glacé cherry tub left over from making my Christmas cake. It's good to reuse plastic where you can, and this tub can be reused over and over again to make a full fleet of Death Star baubles. Stir gently and try to mix everything together as smoothly as possible. It should have the consistency of a thin, runny cream. Plaster of Paris will begin to slowly set as soon as you mix it. You've got about 25 minutes before it sets too hard to do anything with. Pour all of the mixture into the half of the mould with the string attached, and it will almost fill that half of the mould. Then carefully place the other half of the mould on top, lining up the notches, and check they are firmly pressed together. And here comes the fun bit. You're going to need to slowly turn the mould for the next 4 to 5 minutes to make sure that all the sides are coated in plaster. I'm aiming for a hollow plaster shell so that the bauble is light enough to hang on the tree without weighing down the branches, but strong enough to remove from the mould and not shatter into 1,000 tiny pieces. You can be ingenious with your methods for rolling. 4 minutes is enough time to listen to your favourite song, practice a little mindfulness, or plan the destruction of a planet using a giant super laser. After about 4 minutes, you'll notice the mould gets warm and hard. That's a sign the plaster has nearly set, and you can put the mould down and leave it for a further 20 minutes or so. Then, carefully remove the bottom half of the mould. The bauble will still be quite soft, so be gentle and try not to squeeze too hard. If you've managed to evenly coat the inside of the mould, it should look a bit like this. Leave this half exposed to dry for another 5 minutes. And then remove the other half. Remember, the plaster isn't fully dry yet, it's very fragile, so handle it carefully, and if in doubt, just wait a little while longer. Then, allow it to set for a few hours outside of the mould, until it's completely dry. When it's fully dry and you tap it, it should sound a little like a china teacup. Now it's time to bring the Death Star to life with a lick of paint. I'm using an aptly titled Space Grey paint. Try to get your brush into all the nooks and crannies, but don't worry about perfection. A little bit of imperfection here and there adds character. This is a metallic finish acrylic paint. I'm going to apply 2 thin coats of paint. Acrylics don't take long to dry, especially if you apply nice thin layers. Perhaps you could try experimenting with different colours. I've made some gold and red Death Stars, and they look beautiful against the green of my tree. And there you have it, a fantastic Death Star Christmas tree bauble that's sure to impress your friends and family. Why not make some as gifts for all of your Sith Lord friends too? And if you make some that don't quite go to plan and break a little bit, just paint them anyway and say they are partially destroyed or under construction Death Stars. Mistakes can be beautiful too. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more creative crafting projects. Happy Christmas, and may the Force be with you this holiday season.